we are again. How are my lyrics still relevant? The pain and suffering, you are as dumb as you've ever been. Almost to the day you think that I was some clairvoyant. Truly it is an annoyance. Say it till I'm blue in the face, but you treat my words like they're poison. It's your own life you're destroying. Talking to thick walls and skulls, marching to your own life. Another year of this, same old song, same old run. You ask for it back, for it you have learned absolutely nothing. You made your bed, now lie in it. A bunch of clouds, letting it shine. Strike a couple of lines in the sky. It's just for momentary life. Thoughts like you take it out on me. That'll change little to nothing. Hey, what I say, but you can't say I'm bluffing. It's like you want a perpetual suffering. Change, baby, change, but the anti rapping is looking very familiar, don't it? Save the really London. Talking to thick walls and skulls. Walls and skulls. Marching to your another year of this, same old song, same old run. You ask for it back, for it you have learned absolutely nothing. You made your bed, now lie in it. A predictable, gullible mess, a predictable, gullible mess. A predictable, gullible mess, a predictable, gullible mess. A gullible mess. A gullible mess. Emotions, you cannot contain. Relations below your stress. Industries. Your protesting is nothing but I love. Because at the end you just follow. Silly, tripping, who are you kidding? All of that talking and act like you different. Do what you talk like a sucker and you listen. As long as that crackhead is your politician, you are not the resistance. The revolutionary position. Stuck inside. You made your bed, now lie in it. Another year of this, same old song, same old run. You ask for it back, for it you have learned absolutely nothing. You made your bed, now lie in it. Wanna see this in work? Greatest ever, brother. The whole entire scene got to be a little merch. Everything about you is manufactured. And if it feels like I'm talking to you, just assume I am and do whatever you want to. And if you wanna make this thing an issue, hit me up and we can shoot and find the real to get into.
God put a mark on the damned that would let others know they are not to be killed. Anyone who harmed the damned would be punished 7 times over. The damned were hidden from God's presence, and forced to live out their lives carrying out the punishment of their cursed bloodline. The sin pumped through the veins of one descendant to the next. All bore the same mark. I know that my family carries a cursed bloodline. We were made to face the damned. Our blood makes us special. Our bloodline attracts the damned and gives us the power to fight them. The hunt continues for the one that got away, but my mission beckons me forth. This feeling I have is getting worse. Something pulls me west. I must find out why. I am the last one of us left. The blood of my family runs through my veins, and no one can take that away from me. I am not alone. I am their hope. I promise you. No matter what, come hell or high water, or actual hell itself, I am through with running. Flores Park had better be ready for me.
What's up, everybody? What's good? What's good? Just a little stream, nothing too crucial on a Monday, man. Hope y'all are doing well. I think next week we'll see, but I think next week we're going to return with For Cannon's Sake. Got to move my setup still from downstairs that I have upstairs. Eventually, I will do that, but yeah, let's just plan on that. Today, we're going to be talking about a few different things. Obviously, we want to highlight Bloodruth as well as Achromatic Chronicles Green, which since I've streamed hit some solid milestones there. But also we'll talk a little bit of Dragon Age. We also have some craziness, some election talk maybe that we'll have as well. But first, I got to thank each and every single one of y'all for making some of the active collections and campaigns that we have right now through Rippaverse and Rippaverse a success. I'm obviously, as always, very appreciative of you guys. We're going to start with Achromatic Chronicles. We put out a video. Jay recorded himself talking about it and thanking all of you for that continued support there. As I pull this up really quick, but it passed its total sales goal of $50,000. That's Achromatic Chronicles Green. Of course, you can get blue in addition to it. But this is I know in the campaign format, you can kind of be used to just a random number being thrown out there and it not being an actual goal, right? As we've done with the when we used to run our campaigns on the Rippaverse, it was the same way. We never shot for just a random number that we knew we were going to obliterate. It was always, okay, some number that had a little research or a lot of research into it, and something that we, of course, felt great about to get us a return on it. That was reason why we were doing those pre-order goals, sales goals in the first place. And already with several days still left in this campaign, it has hit its pre-order goal of $50,000, which is insane. Also, keep in mind, guys, this does not include like tax and shipping, right? As well. It'd be a way higher number if it did, but it doesn't. Just wanted to throw that out there in case there was any confusion. This is like a legitimate sales number here, and it's already at actually $51,000 in total sales, 1,300 books sold. Next milestone, 1,500 we'll be looking at. I think we're going to be hitting that very, 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 very soon. So I appreciate all of y'all support. Of course, it's all ages adventure. It's something that I think you should grab for, of course, members of your family, specifically the younger ones, nieces, nephews, sons, daughters, cousins. If you're a teacher, if you own a bookstore, whatever. We know the amount of filth that gets put in these youngsters' books, but you don't have to worry about any of that with Jay. He has an awesome track record and just wants to make some wholesome, fun stuff for the youngsters. So go grab this over at ripascend.com. It's also in the description as well if you want to go ahead and grab those. We also, of course, have a big shout out to Jay, by the way. He deserves it as we are on the little campaign trail here. We also have Bloodruth #1, which you guys just watched a trailer for. Bloodruth #1 has almost is at $350,000 already in total sales. Today, we have passed the 6,000 books, total books sold. It has not been a week into this yet. We got plenty of time, lots of fun stuff that we'll be doing. I'm getting caught up on more work stuff, so editing, as well as getting caught up on emails and other vendors and all sorts of other projects, as well as stuff that's pertaining to this collection as well. We got other cool items that we need to make sure are getting situated, but we also have I need to get back on the campaign trail for it, and I will soon. You'll start seeing me pop up in streams, other people's streams as well, talking about it, but I got to get caught up. Absolutely has to get caught up, and I'm getting there. Let me send this message, y'all. We're like working right now, actually. All right. So continuing on, appreciate y'all. Plenty of books that you guys can grab. Contest, fan art contest winner, Michael Montanot is the artist here. You have Brett R. Smith as the colorist, as well as, of course, Jen and Sylvia Saska, the horror twins themselves, doing a horror book, of course, and being the writers. So you're going to grab that as you guys see what the interior is. He did such a phenomenal job. We're really excited about everything that's to come as far as you guys getting that. We do have a very cheap option for you guys that want a cheaper buy-in. We have a black and white edition that's only $15. You can't beat that with a stick. 96 pages, $15. Go grab that as well. You can see that special edition, of course, in the campaign and collection store, excuse me. You also have signed and graded versions of everything. We got shirts, we got posters. Of course, we have the Bloodruth plushie there. And of course, we got a hoodies. We got the first Rippaverse shaker bottle there as well. That'll be a little evergreen item. Finally got into the drinkware. And of course, open cards #3 are available as well. So go grab everything that's there. You can get the I Want It All if that's your thing. Go ahead, grab that. But I appreciate y'all so much for all the love that y'all have. So we got Sean, excuse me. We got plenty of time. Go grab those at rippaverse.com. Of course, we'll announce those print numbers soon enough. Once we get there, but go reserve your copy now if you have not already. And again, I appreciate y'all so much for all the love that has been shown for both Achromatic Chronicles Green and Bloodruth issue #1. I have been working on really the bulk of the day. We've been spent on some editorial stuff, getting caught up on that. We have a lot of projects underway that we need to make sure get cleaned up before we go into full production. Like as far as the artists and them jumping in on letters, that is as well. So I'm going through a lot of that. I'll be doing that tonight after the stream as well. Tomorrow probably. Of course, we have I don't know, a little something might be happening in America here that'll be going on, but I'll be working for sure because the grind don't stop. What else? Something else I'm missing. Oh, so I told y'all soon enough we will get you guys kind of I don't want to say it's not a full, this is what I want to do. I want to get you guys kind of a scope of what's to come. You guys know of some books. We just announced Zaylen. Matter of fact, in case you missed it, let's just play it real quick. So yes, it's Zaylen, written by Chuck Dixon. Artist will be Joe Bennett, little character that they cooked up, much like the Horseman. That's original to them. Their creation, something that they created specifically for the Rippaverse. Really excited about that. So that's coming. Yaira, ISOM 3, some of the other stuff that we have on the horizon that we've been working on, but we want to get you some more kind of officialized announcements. So be on the lookout for that. As far as what's going to happen in 2025 and beyond, because we do anticipate this is going to be a big year. As you guys have already heard from us, this has been our biggest year so far, which is one can always hope of that. Especially with everything speeding up. This is always great that there's something that you want. We have brought more money in this year than we have of any year, just like the year before was better than 2022. So we're constantly improving. We appreciate y'all guys that always show love. Everybody that we get sales every single day. There's always newbies coming to the Rippaverse, and we appreciate y'all. That's the benefit of us being able to house everything, our own website, handle our own distribution, and that we get to just send books out every single day, at least doing work hours. So we appreciate y'all and all the love that you guys have shown. We want to make 2025 an even bigger year than what we had this year. So we're going to keep grinding more books. Obviously, we want to release more books next year than what we did this year. We're going to do that. There's no doubt about it. And just also doing unique stuff. We've already done some drinkware now. We got some plushies. We want to make sure that we're keeping you guys some cool items in that shop that you guys can grab that are more unique. Like I say, shirts and certain clothing items, apparel. That's anticipated. But we also want to do some unique stuff. We've done statues now. You got 2 statues that are up for purchase right now that you can grab, that you can pre-order. We have Yaira statue, which will be shipping around the same. Actually, ISOM. Yaira will for sure ship first. And then we have, of course, the ISOM statue as well through Iron Studios. Man, just a whole lot of stuff happening that's just fun. It's again, I get to wake up and do what I love every single day. And yes, it is work, meaning that sleepless nights are going to happen. You're going to be up early, definitely with how we do releases and stuff. I'm up at 2 a.m., not going to sleep sometimes. And that's just to be anticipated. I don't think any business owner, business, everybody type business in the chat. I don't think any business owner should go into it and thinking that, well, just because you are the owner, you're going to be kind of taking a step back and relaxing. It's just not how it works at all. There's a lot of work to be done. There's always work to be done. And when you are owner of a small business, you wear multiple hats there. So it's always something to be done. And definitely in the creative stuff, I'm doing creative things. I'm doing business related things every single day, Monday to Monday. And it's something that I enjoy doing. I just love the grind. Shout out to, my family, my mother, and everybody that helped kind of instill that hard work into me. So it's like nothing for me, again, to be up all the time and to be grinding and to be working. It's like something that it's therapeutic for me. Definitely, this is my company, right? So it's therapeutic for me that I get to wake up and do what I love every single day. Yes, there's going to be tedious aspects that you have to deal with. Every company does, but just all in all, I love what I do, and I'm blessed to be in a situation, and it's not anything that I take for granted. And the best way that I can show you that I don't take it for granted is to work. That's just what it boils down to, is you got to grind, got to get these books done. So I have to write, I have to edit, I have to make sure the company stays on the tracks, and it's fun. It's fun. Every aspect of it is fun, at least for me. Tedious sometimes, yes, fun though overall. And again, I'm very appreciative of all of y'all. And yes, we know I don't stream as much. I don't do everything that I used to, as far as being constantly online and doing that shit. I just don't have the time anymore, and that's fine. We knew that was kind of going to happen. It's a good problem. It's not a problem at all, but it's a good situation to be in, where look, most of your time is going to be dedicated to your company. And I'm just thankful I have enough customers, obviously, to be able to do something like that where, yeah, you got your side hustles. I'm still doing my writing and ghost writing for artists and creators. There are something I still do, but my main moneymaker now is or main focus where my effort and time for the most part is going is into the Rippaverse, right? So had scaled back on some of the other things, and sacrifices that had to be made, but it's overall was a great decision that I knew was going to happen. I mean, the minute this thing blew up, it was like, okay, it's a fork in the road. That's how it hit. I think everybody, now I won't say everybody, but you're gonna, if you, because luck, I get it. I don't want to argue the semantics of luck by any means, but because a lot needs to go right. But like the old saying is, it's like the harder you work, the more lucky you seem to get. Right. So you have to put yourself in a position of where when your time comes, you're able to actually take advantage of it and go do great things. Right. And when Rippaverse popped off initially, that fork in the road, that time came, and I had a decision to make. It was okay. You can coast on this. This can be a kind of a one-off thing. You made all this money. You can kind of ride off into the sunset and go about your business, and or you treat this more or less like a hobby. Treat it like it's something that you do time from time to time. That was one decision that was very easy to make when you see all that money coming in. The other side, which is the side that I took, was okay. Well, now you've been sort of validated by this market that you're in. So now your shift, your focus, it needs to be on this, and it's going to require a lot of work. That means you're going to have to scale back on some things that you were used to doing before. A lot of streams, like man, there was a time, bros. Y'all knew I was streaming every day, literally every day. It was either a gaming stream or it was a talking politics or talking whatever. It was okay. Take a step back from that and just make the Rippaverse your focus. So obviously that was the decision I made. It's the best decision that I've made in my life. And it was easy for me. I could certainly see how some people would look at that and be like, yeah, I'm going a different route. That's a lot of money. It's life-changing money. I am going to go a different route and go just ride off into the sunset. Can see where that can be attractive for some, but the way that I see it, it's like my calling is much bigger than that, right? And again, we've made more money each year that we've been in existence, which is awesome, and we want to make sure that we keep that going. And it's why that's important is because we're employing people in comics, okay, whether it be writers, artists, people that work in the back office stuff for the company, the warehousing team. Like there's so many people that are being basically working in this industry here. And it's an awesome thing. So that's and giving people obviously the most just fulfilling things about all of this is being able to give people good paying jobs that they actually enjoy, right? They actually want to be here. That means a lot to me. And I get that feedback from everybody that's here. They love being here. We have very low turnover here at Rippaverse, and it's because these guys actually like being here. And I know that everybody doesn't get such a luxury to be able to work a job that they love. Okay, so the fact that I can give people that outlet here, including myself, right? Because I'm very much work for the company, obviously. So including myself is why it's motivating. Let's say that it's a reason for me to continue to keep going. And it's a blessing for sure. So I just want to thank all of y'all for the support that you guys have given. As I've said before, we're seeing all the success. I mean, Horseman absolutely shattered our expectation. Had nobody saw Horseman selling. That hit a big milestone since our last stream. 12,000 total books sold. 12,000 guys, 12,000 total books sold within the window, and it's crazy. We didn't anticipate that at all. Bloodruth is off to a phenomenal start. Be interesting to see where that ends. But these projects, seeing the level of success that they're seeing is just really a testament to the audience and its enthusiasm, and that stuff goes a long way. You hear me say it a lot because I mean that. It's just You know that obviously with the point of sale happening that early on in the process with the pre-orders, it helps us a lot as far as being able to get you guys more books. Okay, so as money comes in, we know kind of okay, this is the level of where the kind of the trajectory is. We know that we can greenlight other projects, right? So you pre-ordering goes an absolute long way. So I appreciate y'all. I can't thank y'all enough. You guys are amazing. You're incredible. And just want to keep getting these books out to you. So yeah, had to thank all of y'all for that success, man. You guys changed my life. I know I'm always thanking you guys, but I am very, very appreciative of everything that you guys do. All right. And also, you know, someone brought up in the chat, talk about the fan art contest winner. That's another cool thing. You know, we have a nice mix of guys that have been around the block, the Chuck Dixons, the Mike Barons, the Joe Bennettts, you know, guys that are just established and respected in their respective fields. But, you know, we've also had this opportunity to bring in newer writers and creators, and that's always awesome. The reason y'all keep sharing the shadows, my dog keeps walking in front of the light. But that's also another thing that's been cool to see newbies get those opportunities like that. And by newbies, we're not necessarily meaning guys that just started. It's just guys that never really, you know, they just didn't have that opportunity to be able to say that they've been working for a big company X or Y for 20 years. Like that's just not what's been happening. It's just it's more they've been on the grind. Maybe they are young or whatever, and it's been cool to give people those opportunities. You guys have, again, you got to see Michael Montanati. There's some other guys, some other creators and cover artists that we've worked with as well. That's been it's been awesome to see. And I think that's necessary. I mean, it's awesome that these guys that, you know, like Chucks and all those guys that are around, I think just having a successful company, it's important to have that veteran presence there, right? But also having that new talent is going to be what's necessary. And I try to be as encouraging as I can, especially for new guys. I don't want people to be deterred from like making comics. I don't want people to feel like they have to be this uber to make it, especially independently. Like, no, that's an old model, bros. You don't necessarily need to be working for the big dogs in order to see success in comics. That is a myth. That is not necessary by any means. And I want to make sure that at least I'm doing what I can with the resources that I have to, you know, give those opportunities, but also just generally be encouraging to guys out there. Because if the American independent in like scene per se, it's more or less not a scene, just let's say comics, whether it be independent or not, if it's going to thrive, it's going to require new talent as well as the guys that have been around. So being I try to be as encouraging as I can. Also, don't be afraid to make mistakes and don't be afraid to try things that maybe aren't going to work. And it's going to happen. It's going to be part of the process, man. Just go out there and be great. That's it. All right. Let me get to some of these super chats and then we'll talk about some other things. Just wanted to thank y'all. I spent the first 30 minutes thanking y'all, and I think I could have spent more. Darius with 33 months says, we cover selection over at Cyber Skull Media. Well, shout out to you. It will drop tomorrow. Would love if you could watch, grab Bloodruth Hype 4. Yes, send it our way. Tag me in it. I'll be sure to check that out. Appreciate everybody. By the way, you did listen to Selection, the new Backwards single. You can grab that. It's now. I know a lot of people are asking about Spotify. Spotify is usually the ones that are last to roll out, but it has finally rolled out on Spotify. So go check that out. Selection, if you have not already. And again, we thank you guys so much for that support. Just so much was happening, right? We got Bloodruth, we got Achromatic Chronicles Green, we got new Backwards single. Like, this is what I'm supposed to be doing. This feels great. And I keep bringing it up, but it's true. Guy who I've had the pleasure of being able to work with, obviously, and McFarlane, looking at Todd and how he carries himself online and just how I won't say everything is an ad. I think that's not the way to put it, but everything that he does is like pertaining to something that is his creation, whether it be from That was that. From a McFarlane Toys, or whether it's from like a something pertaining to Image. It's all everything that he puts out is it's something that he has his hands on. And I think that's the direction that I'm moving in, where it's like my presence online is, yeah, we're gonna have our commentary here and there. I'm on Blaze still doing my thing, but most of it, 95% of it is gonna be, hey, here is a Rippaverse creation. Here's a Rippersend project. Here's a new backwards track. Here's something like that. That's just because that's it's only so much time in the day, and that's just the direction that we're moving in. So big shout out to Youth and Darius. I will check it out, and I appreciate everybody. There's been some guys that's been covering the single, and I appreciate y'all so much. Is Peanut the Squirrel canon in the Rippaverse is DB with a 2? Not yet, not that I'm aware of. Rip though. Garfield's Bizarre Adventure with a 5 says pretty cool. You got to hang out with your friends and fans at SpaceCon, but did you get to smoke crack in the parking lot with 2 random junkies? No, not in the crack, not in the junkies, and not in the smoking at all. Along with the random people, it's not my thing. So shout out Garfield's Bizarre Adventure. SpaceCon was awesome, man. We had a lot of fun there. Big shout out to the GNG team. Of course, Jay was there. Got to hang out with Gina Carano again. Every time we link up, we always hang out with her. Who else? Everybody that obviously came. Star Wars Theory, who's been our travel mate as well, and everybody in between, man. So many Comics Division, the FNT team, Gary and Erotic, everybody that came out to show some love, man. It's always good to see people's in our little corner of the internet, and of course, linking up with you guys, the fans themselves that make all of this happen. So SpaceCon was a great time. It felt good to be back in San Antonio. Mark with a 2 says me again. 10.5 Horsemen in September. ICV. I still haven't checked. I still haven't checked. Still haven't checked. Zay Comics, what's up? Phil Diaz and company, man. Hope y'all doing well. Says, yo, Eric, congrats on Bloodruth launch books. Book looks wicked, excuse me. Dev getting that along with Horseman. Hey, big shout out to y'all. Y'all can follow our mans over there and feel the great work that those brothers are doing over at Zay Comics. We talked about them in one of my recent videos there, and you guys should go check that out. Check them out. And I appreciate your support, homie. Much love. Much love, man. HGK Base Player says, any updates about Yellow Flash's Mighty Golden Patriots? Still getting that thing across the finish line. It's not quite done yet, but it's getting there. And then we will, of course, launch that. Johnny with a 5 says, my boring CGC box is full with Rippaverse books. 9 more on the way. Need Rippaverse CGC box. Please help. Yeah, we've got some requests. We do have a design, by the way, for it. So it exists. We were testing some things out. We do have a design idea for a CGC box that is Rippaverse themed. So I will work on that. We'll see, and we'll follow up on it. Proud Man with a $7.99 says, would Rippaverse sales figure Proud Man with a 8 says, would Rippaverse sell figures for each collection be healthy in 2024 if you handle criticism more maturely? There seems to be negative growth. I'll respond by rejecting the premise. I don't think that's a thing because, well, we have not had a collection or campaign that wasn't healthy at all. And I'm not sure what you mean by negative growth. Again, we sell all through the year. We don't stop selling during the collection or campaign window. We also don't run campaigns or collections for years at a time. So like in demand, like that's not a thing for us. The collection's over with after the window, and we just move on to the next thing. So I think that's kind of the myth there, that I think people think that we just stop selling books, but we don't. there. So we haven't had any negative growth. Like I said, we made more money this year than we made, and that's only we have still obviously November and December, but we've made more money this year than we have last year. So this is the most 2024, even with 2 months left and some cool things that we want to make sure that we get out to you guys, has had its most successful year to date. So big shout out to all of y'all that have made that happen. It's me, Mario, with a 10 says, As 2024, keep killing it, Ripper. You got it. Shout out As, who has been suffering through Dragon Age. Yukon Man with a 20 says, continue blessings and success. Well, thank you. Appreciate you. Much love to you. We have Professor X. What's up? With a 16-month serious complaint here. I've noticed a distinct lack of opportunities for us to earn an Eric sketch achievement since you switched to collections. Thought you were slick. I'm gonna need those back. Yeah, by the way, we do have the functionality to add benchmarks. It just hasn't been presented in the collection yet. We do need to bring those back. I agree with you. That's always fun. The fans like to see kind of cool things that we do, what we're going to promise, and what can happen for you guys if we hit certain goals and benchmarks. So we'll look into bringing those back, and maybe giving you an opportunity for the Eric sketch. Shout out to you for 16 months, man, in the game. Big shout out to Professor X, man. We got Garfield's Bizarre Adventures with a 5 says, in all seriousness, thanks for prioritizing your customers' request. I personally wanted a black and white cover, and others asked for a plushie. Well, that's what it's about. I mean, it's important to keep your kind of your ear to the streets, if you will, in this business. In this business. Everybody type business in the chat. In this business. But obviously we have Sheep, community manager. Everybody, there's a lot of front-facing employees that we have here, guys that actually are wanting to, they are ambassadors for the Rippaverse. And they even like a Carol who has her own community, right? And so she's getting that feedback constantly. I'm getting the feedback constantly, and you got to cut through a lot of noise, man, because I'm probably going to do a creative business segment on this where I talk about how to analyze social media, because it can be a little tricky. I think people think views equal sales. Not true. Not at all. Not even close, actually. Or popularity and following on social media equals sales. Not true. That's not how it works. So there's a lot of noise that you got to cut through, right? What feedback is something that's going to be useful for me and conducive to growing the company? You got to be able to analyze that properly. And I think with us just having so many of these front-facing people within the company, and that actually care, right? They don't just treat the Rippaverse like it's just a job, right? It is their job, and it's still work to be done, but it's something that they have a lot of enthusiasm towards and something that they care a lot about. So they're constantly getting that feedback and keeping their ear to the streets there. And it's important that we listen to that, because again, it's you guys that make this go around, right? You guys are the ones that are reaching into your pocket, even despite there being economic downturn, reaching into your pockets and purchasing Rippaverse material. So we appreciate that from y'all, and we love that feedback that we get. And when we hear like, hey, even though we had zero plans to do a black and white edition, there was no plan to do that. Y'all saw the first, it's a horror book, number one, a horror book. And then you saw Michael's first like material. And then there was it wasn't just one person or two people saying we want a black and white version. It was multiple people saying that you should do a black and white. I love to get this in black and white. And so we made it happen. And then there it is. So it's important to listen to that. We appreciate y'all for giving that feedback. And yeah, we will always prioritize our actual customers that are invested in the Rippaverse above all else, because you guys are the reason why we do it. So, we appreciate y'all so much for giving us that feedback, and it's important that we listen to it. And again, it's easy to pivot like that, being a small business, successful, yes, but a very small business relatively. So we can see that come up and be like, oh, okay, well, we can just do that. I don't have to go up 17 chains, right, to make it happen. Evan with a 50 month says, a serious complaint. Where is the Norfolk book? I've heard you guys loud and clear. Trust me on this. Norfolk was introduced in ISOM 1 for a reason, and you will be seeing them soon enough. That much I can promise you. I can promise you that. So big shout out to everybody that's been commanding more Rippaverse stuff. I ain't mad at it. And more Norfolk stuff. You're getting it. 50 from It's Me, Mario. No message either. Drops the 50 on the table, walks out. Didn't say shit. Said nothing. There's no message there. Not that I can't see it. It's just no message. He said nothing. He said nothing. I respect it. Respect it. Appreciate it. Appreciate it. Respect it. Not even saying nothing. So yeah, man. Again, appreciate y'all. Keep supporting, buying Bloodruth issue #1, as well as Achromatic Chronicles Green over at Rippaverse.com. Let's send both of these to the moon, if you don't mind. Again, I appreciate y'all for that support. It's crazy, crazy, crazy. Crazy, crazy. All right. So not everybody here watches the material and stuff that I do on Blaze. But that's where a lot of my political talks have been reserved. I haven't been doing a whole lot. I mean, I did like that one little video about Kamala. So I haven't done as many on my. It's not that I haven't talked about it; it's just I haven't done a lot of it on my channel, right? But every week, I'm at Blaze and we're talking what's the latest in the news. And obviously elections coming up. There's a lot of theories. It's been interesting to see everybody have their perspective on what's happening. Polls. It just depends on who you're listening to. Um, Favorable to Trump, yes. Basically, the leftist polls are basically predicting it as a toss-up, which so some would argue that must mean that there is going to be a fucking landslide, because they wouldn't want to admit otherwise, right? And I've seen people that have that's what they think. They believe that it's going to be not even close. Not even close. Which is it's interesting. Very interesting. I don't know. I mean, look, I would say I lean towards, yeah, Trump's gonna win from what I see, but I'm never like, and I don't want you guys to do this as well, because I know that other people that do vote, most people that maybe on this side of the internet, if there is to be a candidate of the major two, the ones that are generally following my page are going to be voting for Trump. Just don't want you to underestimate the amount of retards that are in existence. Jay says send him the link. Okay. Actually, I don't mind doing that. I usually never do this on stream. So I'll do this. I'll DM Jay and we'll get him in here. We'll talk about some cool stuff. Even election stuff. He can talk about that as well. Uh, I'm gonna send this to him. Get these super chats out the way. So me Mario gifted 5 subs as well. Appreciate that. Appreciate that. Says proud man again with another $8. I think it's Australian. Says negative growth equals Yara sells 1 million in 24 hours. You haven't hit a million since. Would this have happened if you handle criticism more mature? Like I said, I reject the I reject the premise, right? I don't even know what you're referring to there. But Yara was a campaign, right? Campaigns they were way more robust um, than what our collections are. So you shouldn't be expecting any of our collections to hit $1 million. It's just not realistic. Never was. We don't. They're just not as robust as what they were before. But we have more customers than we've had in the past. Like our customers list is bigger. And again, it's just we're releasing things more often as well. And because of that, you got people that are buying in at different places. So you got to look beyond what's surface level. And you can't just look within a 2-month window or a month and a half or however long the 30 day, whatever, however long the collection may be, trying to determine the health of the company, especially when we're constantly selling each and every day. So yeah, there hasn't been any. Every collection we've got a return on, every campaign that we've got a return on, and we sell every single day tens of thousands of dollars worth of comic books, merchandise, and all of that stuff. But there's also when you're dealing with collections, and this is more of economic situation than it is like a just kind of understanding comics. It's that's less of it. It's more about just understanding how things work and looking at this economically. What goes into a collection is different, right? Um, every single book or campaign, for that matter, has different types of items, right? As an example, looking at for example, if you looked at it as a 1 by 1, right? That's bad from a comic perspective, right? You shouldn't look at the health of the company like that. I don't think it's anything that I think you should be worried about at all because we're fine. But if you are to worry about it, or if you are trying to analyze it, you have to understand number one, not every comic book character is going to sell the same, right? Um, you don't say DC is in trouble if Batman sells more than a Harley Quinn comic. No, it's anticipated that Batman is going to outsell every comic book that they put out. The same needs to be said and considered for us here at the Rippaverse. Isom is a big character. Yaira is the second biggest, not the biggest character that we have. But if you are going to look at it through that metric, let me just say it is interesting that that's your stop point. You didn't start with Horseman, which outsold Gooding in both numbers of the as far as numbers and as far as sales, as well as individual books sold. Right. So and that just goes to show you that it's going to go up, it's going to go down. What's the interest in the character? All that has to be taken into consideration, and also just the sheer volume, how we release books. We release more books than we had in the past. So instead of someone investing one book, right, a year, right, or 2 books out the year, now it's like 5, 6, 7 books, as well as other material. So people aren't getting in immediately like they were before, even though they do eventually get around. So there's that. All right, I'm going to send this to my man Jay real quick since he did request the link. If Twitter wants to work. There we go. Perfect. And there it is. It's always fun to nerd out about the economics. But we are fine. Any Xmas box deals? I don't know what we're gonna do going into. I got ideas, but we haven't like green lit. We still have some cool things that we want to make sure that we get out by the end of the year. So it's hard to say. Student of God says, when are we getting Horseman? Soon. 18th is going to be the fulfillment day, but if we are going to start early, we'll let you know. And there he is, my man's Jay. What's up, bro?
And I've never been here before. Woo! Look at this place. It's all shiny and gold lights and everything. What the heck? What is all this? I know you never send the link. That's why I was like, just messing in the chat. Like, send the link. Let's see what happens. Let's see what's going on.
Nah,
and then you were like, you know what? I'm gonna do it. I was like, oh shoot, I gotta put my shirt on. I gotta get my hat on. I gotta get ready. I think what you need to do, you need to release a video on how you keep your day organized, because your work ethic is. We're all listening to you talk, and you're just like,
I gotta do this.
I gotta cover here. Oh yeah, there's music over here. There's a plushie in my lap. There's this. I gotta edit that. I gotta make sure that's okay. It's like, with that, with so many plates spinning, one's got to ask themselves, how do you keep it focused, without all the plates falling off? Like that's a big one for especially people that want to start a business. Excuse me. Business, especially someone that want to start something like that. It's like, how do you keep all that going? Especially on top of that, you have family, friends, probably no social life except for streaming. You never play video games anymore.
Nah, not as much. No, I know, right?
You don't watch any television or movies. That's a big thing.
I don't.
Cut that out of your life.
I literally don't watch TV. I don't watch movie. I couldn't tell you the last movie that I saw like in theater. I cannot tell you. So I don't watch TV at all. Like the only thing I'll have, like everybody in our corner streams. If I'm working, like I'll have y'all stream like up or something like that, playing at someone's live. So if it's you game, like definitely at night, you're gaming in the basement, I usually just have you playing or whatever while I'm working. That's my extent of television these days. But no, that could be a cool video. That could be a really sick video.
I think so. I think there's lots of aspects of understanding this world, because I say that all the time on my live stream. It's like it's hard for me to understand this world that you made with Rippaverse. And I'm talking about like printing, publishing, things, all that stuff like that. And it was just me just having a small percentage of seeing a lot of it. How it's done is it's like it's bigger than what people what people realize. It's like there are so many moving parts. I remember touring the warehouse and just looking at future books, things that you had in mind. That's the top secret files over there. That's a stack of NDAs like over there in the corner with Brandon. You have all that, and it's just like, man, it's so impressive. I remember walking in and I was like, tell me what I can take a picture of and what I can't. And they're all just like, this section right here is good. Yeah, stay away from over here. We don't even want you poking around there, Jay. We don't even want you poking around and see what's going on over there. But the thing is, 2 years, bro.
I know, right? It's crazy.
Give me a freaking break, man.
Yeah, that's
2
crazy.
years.
That's crazy.
Most businesses, I mean, you're talking 10-year, like they have like a 10-year plan. Look at freaking Disney when they do their money talks, they're like, we expect to make money on Disney Plus in 15 years. We expect to crack a little bit of the profit, in 8 years over here and 9 years over here and all that stuff. It's like, it's pretty wild, I don't think you realize what you have done and the hype that you have put, people in to get back into comic books. Because I know for me personally, as someone that has boxes of the old 80s and 90s books that just stepped away for a while, and it's like, they're not for me anymore. I would collect a couple collector editions that would come out every now and then. And then, coming in to breathe life. So I don't know if you even sit back and reflect on all that.
To be
Do
fair,
you even
do I
have
even have time?
time?
Yeah, I was just about to say, do I even have time to do that? It is more or less the question. It's a lot. Like it's. I will say that having done a lot of independent creation in music prepared me a lot for what I'm doing right here. Like, and I say it all the time. Like, I grew up in definitely in Texas, like doing the mixtape era, like with our scene. That I was in the smack dab middle of that, right? When people were selling mixtapes out of the trunk of their cars, right? And I was very much entrenched in that all through high school, right? And that was like my first time, like, you know, in commerce, right? Like that, and hustling, right? Because it's a different type of hustle. It's not like, hey, here's a project, make it money. It was like you had to go make the money yourself. So the art of making that sale, and then like turning that money into more money, and being on the club scene.
Did you use CD Baby?
No, the CD Baby. No, we
You
used to
know
have to
that.
get.
You know, see,
Yeah, I remember
everybody,
CD Baby.
everybody
Yeah,
went to CD
of
Baby and
course.
was selling out the trunk of their car.
Yeah, of course.
Come on,
Remember
man. Here's
that?
my mixtape. Come
Yep,
on, man.
yep.
CD Baby right on the back.
Yeah,
So,
exactly. But it was that era helped a lot, right? And then obviously turning that into the band stuff that I was doing, and I just learned a lot on the way that was a direct crossover. Not everything's a direct crossover, obviously. There's still a lot of new things that I needed to learn, but at least prepared me for where I'm at now, to the point to where it's like it almost felt second nature. But in the same respect, the Rippaverse doesn't work, and you've had the luxury of meeting like all of our team members, right? And for the most part, and they're fucking killers, man. Like these guys are rock stars, man. And the old saying, teamwork makes the dream work, is so true. And that was the first thing that I had to do when I saw those numbers come in. Immediately, I was like, oh shit. I got to bring more people in, because now I'm having to sell. Oh, I'm thinking I'm gonna sell 1,000 or something like that. Then that turned into just, oh, here's $1 million in 30 hours. I was like, oh shit, like this is a completely different animal. So I had to I turned a lot of my part-time guys into full-time guys, brought some other folks in to facilitate some of the big positions, executive positions, like Carol, which she had already been here, and Brandon, obviously, Alex, people that I could vouch for, that I could trust. That was the most important thing, right? It's like, you know, your business explodes like that, and now you got to bring people in. But it's not just like grabbing someone off the street just because they got experience.
right.
You got to bring people in that you trust, right? Like, this is something that a once in a lifetime opportunity. I can't just pick a guy and say, hey, you won't be my financials. I was like, I gotta get a guy that's not only like qualified to do it, but I also got to get a guy that I know I could trust, right? Because I'm very much of the belief that, like, if I'm going to hire you to be in that, like, a position like that, if I don't trust you, why do I have you in that position? In other words, let these guys work. And it was so easy, or so much easier, let's say that, to run the company, having rock stars like we've had, like Carol, like
but how hard is it as someone that's so hands-on on everything?
Yeah.
To, like, we'll just pick on Brandon for a minute,
Yeah.
because he has terrible basketball takes. But let's like how hard is it to take a piece of the pie, you know, and just say, I'm not going to touch it, you know, here, like,
difficult.
I bet it was.
I'm not gonna sit there and lie to you. It's difficult. It absolutely was. It was something that I knew needed to happen, but it wasn't like it was easier to do it because, again, I could trust these guys. But it's still like, to your point, I'm a hands-on guy. Like, I'm a guy that likes to be, you know, I packed a bunch of orders. I was in there hustling. I like to have my hands on, like, perspective on everything. But it's like, when you got guys that you could trust, it made it easier for me to be like, you know what, Brandon, the warehouse operations, that's yours. Whatever the policies, the procedures are going to end up being, I'm trusting you to run that. And I make this point all the time when I'm at the warehouse, right? To the employees there, don't come to me asking me for nothing. I'm not your boss, right? Like, I'm here if I'm here packing orders, I'm here as an employee, right? Like, don't you still got to go through the big guy, right? Because that's his spot, right? That he runs that part of the organization. So it was difficult. I ain't gonna sit up here and lie. Definitely as hands-on I am. It was very difficult to do it, but man, early on though, it got validated because, you know, these guys do such a phenomenal job, and like at what they do. I don't have much complaints. Anything that we do need to clean up on, or there's something that needs my perspective, these guys don't hesitate to ask me, like, what are you thinking? I'm like, okay, cool. This is what I'm seeing, right? And there's also those times where you got to humble yourself. I say this all the time about owners that are hands-on like me. You go humble yourself real quick, because there may be a point to where, like, if you got leadership and you trust them with the jobs, and maybe you see something differently, right? But collectively, they're seeing it this way. You might, I don't want to say you get vetoed, because yeah, ultimately my say is the last say, right? Like on everything.
Sure.
It's kind of how it works. But in the same respects, in order to make sure that we're running this ship the way that it needs to be ran, I got to trust these people to do their job. So even if I'm thinking something else, but the other guys are like, Eric, we've done the data. We're the ones here day to day. We've ran everything that needs to be ran. This makes more sense, and this is why. And I'll be like, okay, might have not saw that initially, but I'm gonna trust you that that's the position that's what we need to do, and we run with it. So there's gonna be those times that you gotta humble yourself. You absolutely have to humble yourself with that, and it's been one of those things where, again, having people you can trust makes it a lot easier to do. That's for sure.
Could you do me a favor and highlight Shadow Links' super chat? It's a question directly towards me. Does Jay regret using Rippaverse? It isn't performing significantly better than his. It isn't performing significantly better than his first book. I hope it works out for him. Well, let me just correct you on that. I did not cross $50,000 in sales on my first book till after the first month. So we crossed that in 2 weeks here.
And that's no tax, no shipping either. So
it actually is doing a lot better than I anticipated. And what's crazy is the first 10 days I was out of town. I couldn't stream. All I could do was tweet, and all I could do is that was it from my cell phone, and hope I'm looking at everything correctly, things like that. Also, it's so now, like, we got things moving. It's starting to uptick a little bit more, and it is right on par from what I had thought it was going to do. And I still got 2 months left to promote it. So ask me again, Shadow Links, in January, and I will give you my honest answer. But as far as today goes, it has been a dream and a godsend for me, the other writer, Aaron, and my artist, Eric, who like, basically I don't have to handle a lot of stuff. I'm not calling the printers. I'm not like saying if I mess this up when the printers are asking, hey, do you want this kind of extra hard level paper that has I was like, I don't know what they're talking about. Just make it look nice. I don't know anything about that stuff. And it's like, hey, can you send it to us in this box I was like, I don't know nothing. I don't know how to do that. This is not my world. But this was my story. And, so it has really, it has really been a godsend to me, honestly. So you asked the second question, Jay. It's okay to be disappointed. I'm not disappointed 100%. And I had bothered Eric July, the first book, when he got started. I was on the phone with him, and he probably regret giving me his number over and over and over. And I was like, hey man, can you help me out with the first one? Can you make my life easier? I don't know what I'm doing. He did take hours out of his day to make sure I had everything lined up for Blue. Eric, I texted him. I was like, I got problems. I don't know what I'm doing. And he's just like, boom, 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 boom. So he helped me so much on the phone and emails. Always took my call, but I was like, can you just publish it for me, man? Like, can we just he's like, I'm not ready yet.
I wasn't at the time, but that things changed and it just made a lot more sense now. And I'm just, this is something obviously I take very seriously, right? Is definitely with us being friends, like it's even more so. It's like, I want to make sure that, we're doing everything that, we obviously can for you. And, to your point, like, you get to just focus on the creative stuff and promoting, being an ambassador for the book, while our guys are handling everything else. And I know that's like a night and day thing to what you had to deal with. Because I remember those phone calls that we had talking about Blue and
Yeah.
like, you know, what you got to do is just so much that has to go into it. Trying to and big shout out to you for still making that happen and being able to deliver on that. But it's a lot of things that you don't consider as well. So I'm glad that you obviously are pleased with it. But you know, this thing isn't going to be the last thing, obviously, that we do with you. You know what I mean? We got some other stuff that's coming out of pipeline, and I'm very, 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 very excited.
And this series, the beautiful thing is this series is far from over. The Achromatic Chronicles series is far from over.
Oh, yeah.
Eric knows that I'm in the middle of also working on a film for the first book.
Yep.
And like I said, and with the Indiegogo, so this is just me talking, and you can correct me if I'm wrong, but with Blue, with the Indiegogo, the money that's on the front, it included all the shipping,
yeah, it includes
taxes,
everything anybody pays.
When it says, "Hey, you did $100,000 campaign," yeah, that's great, but all the shipping money's in there, all the taxes is in that number, everything is in that number, everything's in that number, and the number that I'm at now with Green is, I didn't think I would get to 50 till about 35, 40 days in, because my mindset was the election. You know, everybody's worried about the election. They're holding on to their money for a little bit, or, you know, it's holidays, things like that. So I'm like, all right, we're going to push for the first 30 days. Let's see if I can get to that 50. But the fact that we basically hit it before I even got home is incredible. So, you know, two more months to push.
Oh, yeah.
You know, and we'll see. But then, like, we going right into the third book.
Yeah.
You know, and then the fourth one, then the series will be done. So it's been an incredible experience. And what I love, like, Eric will text me like at 5 a.m. He's like, "Hey, I need you to send this video real quick." And I'm like, "Oh, what? Huh? Like, how do you want me to do that? Like, what?" He's already moved on.
Yeah, I'm like,
"Hey,
just send it. I'll send the video, guys. We'll figure it out from there. Just send it. Just send whatever you got." Yeah, that's how it works, man. It's like, yeah, because you never know. I'm up early. You never know. I'm fucking mind's like turning, and I'm like, oh man, it'd be cool if we did this. But yeah, it is to your point, like with our numbers, it doesn't consider all that other stuff. I want the public facing numbers to be just strictly on sales. So yeah, I mean, if we included sale tax and shipping, this thing would be we probably already be at $100,000, because you know, to you, as you know, right, that 100,000 looks real good, and then you start realizing, well, I got to pay to ship it. I got money. Did I really make that money with the taxes and stuff? Like you find out really quick that $100 that way ain't $100,000 that way ain't like gonna put you like in a mansion or anything.
No, not even. And the first book that I did everything wrong. I made a lot of mistakes. I spent money I didn't need to spend. You know, I was hiring attorneys that I didn't need to hire. Like, I was just, hey man, that's my story. One day I'll tell you everybody about it. But yeah, it's like the artist money's in that, the shipping, everything is in that. It's like, hey man, 100K. Oh, hey, that's gotta go. That's gotta go. That's gotta. Well, I got some gas money left. But if you know, I learned so much, and then I was telling Eric that this experience through Rippaverse was also a huge learning. It was because my mindset was crowdfunding, right? And like, no, this ain't crowdfunding. And it's like, well, should we launch it now? Like, we still got a couple more times. So like, I still got a few more months and I can get you. No, get the book done. It's not that. This is what this is. You're thinking this, change your thinking. And it was an amazing process of learning. Especially like I told him, I was like, for the next books, I know exactly what I need to get done.
You gotta do is say,
I know exactly what you need. I know exactly. And basically, I'm gonna like hand him a big zip drive and go, "Here you go, man. There's the next one."
And then you're done.
I'm going on vacation after. Exactly. I'll be back when it's ready to launch.
Your work is done after that. You don't got to do anything else. But that's what it's about here. Right? Obviously, the whole point of Rippaverse is that, you know, I want to make this an easy process. I want creators to be able to focus on creating, as well, trying to maximize obviously the return as well, so they can continue to work on this stuff. But it's about making it easier on you, right? And obviously we've accomplished that here, and there's going to be a whole lot of other cool stuff that we're going to be doing that's coming down the pipeline, which you kind of alluded to. So it's going to be very, very, very exciting. We got some more of these. I'm just grabbing these as they come in, because holy shit, Gary said, "With 16 months, says any info on Green Collector's Edition extra pages?" I guess it's a question for me. Well, the Collector's Edition is it's foil, and it has some embossing on it as well. It's what you come to expect from the Rippaverse. It's the same treatment, right? You guys know that we've done like these cool. Do I have? I have Alpha Core here. Yeah. So like Alpha Core and how it has the luminous and it really shines and it has embossing and we have different types of full stuff. We're doing the same thing with the collector's edition of Achromatic.
That was a personal request from me.
Too. Yeah. He's like, can
you give me a foil cover, man? I always wanted a foil cover.
I said, yes, we can do it. So all of that you've come to expect from the Rippaverse is what you're going to get with the collector's edition. So be sure to grab that.
I think the one of the biggest advantages for me is the shipping, international shipping.
Oh yeah, that's another good point.
Is massively life-saving and money saving for those that want to buy.
I remember us having that kind. I hate to not to air out our entire conversation, but I just remember because you brought it up. I remember us specifically talking about that.
Because all my Australian friends are like, man, I got to pay $50-$60 just to get your book, Jay. Yeah. And I'm like, I don't know what to do, man. Like, I don't know. Some of them went out of their way to buy it, and I'm so appreciative. But now it's like, it's a lot cheaper than that. So
yeah, it's way cheaper, and then obviously that's a massive advantage here, right? Yeah. And that ensures you. And obviously you're not coming out of any cost there. That's more of the customers, but obviously then customers more enticed to buy the book.
And the other thing is the printing cost is a lot less than what I paid.
Yes.
So
exactly.
For Blue, and I've been very transparent. Like I was paying close to $20 a book. It was a 220 page.
Yeah, it was a big book. Yeah.
So if you don't realize, if you guys bought Blue for the first time, it's 220 pages. It's a big boy. Mm-hmm. And I was paying almost $20 a book. So, and people are like, Jay, man, you kind of got screwed on that a little bit. I was like, well, I didn't know what I was doing. Plus, I didn't think I was gonna, the lower you order,
the more it is. Yeah, you never know your volume at the time.
Right.
It's so much that I think, and I was remember I did that post that I did or that video that I did talking about this, and the guys over at Iconic Comics kind of chimed in on it as well and talked about how some creators they don't consider that aspect of it. And to be fair, it's like it's not for them to consider, right? It's like I just want to create, but then it's like I'll get to it when I get to a situation, and then you run into the problems, like sort of what you're mentioning. And I think a lot of people don't see that. It's like sometimes you can undercharge. A lot of times that's what happens with international shipping. It's like, okay, I charge the customer this, and now I'm being charged something that's way more than that. And they got their asses kicking, they're at a deficit, and it's cutting into any profit that they would have had, even with the most successful campaign. So it's just a lot that goes into that. And that's the point of Ripper saying, to try to, like, because we got the process figured out through our accounts with the parcel companies and everybody that we work with. It's going to be a lot cheaper, far cheaper with everything, whether it be printing, whether it be shipping. All of that is just way cheaper. That alone, to me, for anybody that definitely has already seen success with campaigns in the past, to me, that makes it worth it to work with Ripper Stan, because we're going to cut that. We're going to cut whatever you were spending in half, because we just have access to completely different
Javier
rates.
has a question. Do I have to make a new account for Ripper Send?
If you want, it's not like linked to the Rippaverse. I mean, the shipping, obviously, all that stuff is the same. But yes, it operates as if it's its own thing. So if you wanted to like save your I guess, like, because you want to buy Jay's book, some more material later, and you just want to save that, then yes, that will be a different account under Ripper. We've looked at trying to merge. It's just a lot technically that has to go into that, man. To have, because I know some people, I would love to, if we can at some point, merge that. That's technically going to be a nightmare, but we may be able to eventually pull it off.
They can buy an ISOM, then go to Ripper Send and buy someone else and put it all in one shipping. Yeah,
exactly.
Man.
And then put it all, and as well as those members for Rippaverse being able to take advantage of those discounts that they get as members, as far as their shipping, for example, is something that we want to be able to have them take advantage of. But yeah, that's something that we're working on. It's just gonna be technically. We wanted to get this off the ground. We didn't want to wait for that. So Where am I at? Dealing with a 57 months at suburb. What you think about Ron Paul working with Elon in the Trump admin? I haven't seen much. I've seen him mention it, and Ron, the tweet where Ron was like, "I'm basically, y'all can call me." I haven't seen anything confirmed though, that he's for sure adding him to the cabinet. If he is, that's going to be massive, and obviously guys like me are going to be hella intrigued by that. I mean, as Bruce with a 33 months says, let's crack 60K fast for Green. We are getting there.
Hey, listen, I appreciate everyone. This morning, I was just feeling blessed at where we are. Listen, I know it's not a big superhero type story. Definitely something for a younger audience and people coming through and supporting it. I knew from day one when I was releasing Blue, there was many people that were like, "This is a Jay, this ain't it, man. Like, you're not gonna get a lot of set." The thing is, this was a passion project of mine. I put it in my heart. I threw it out there, and because so many of you guys came through on the first one, the rest of the books are going to be taken care of. So if this thing makes only 10,000, which is not, it's already over 50, but and so on, it's going to get done because this is something that I wanted, I want to get done. So I hope that if you haven't picked it up, give it a chance. I know you're going to love the story. I know you're going to love it. It's a little different and unique, and there's big things coming with this series other than books as well. So, you get some of those exclusive covers and everything, because you might not get a chance to get them again when some other big things might be popping off next year. I'm hoping to have a teaser trailer done. And no, this is not being done by the Rippaverse, even though a lot of people ask that. The movie.
Not us. We don't own the IP, as I've said before. Ripper saying this is creator-owned stuff. We don't own any of that. That's still all Jay's.
So hopefully we're gonna have a teaser trailer for Blue next year. We'll see. But we are going. If we got to do something for the children, man. If you look at all the garbage that they constantly are pumping in our public schools, you guys have seen. If you follow Twitter, you see what's going on out there. You see everything. What they're trying to do in our school systems and stuff. And it was like, I just wanted to make an adventure series that didn't have any crap in it, no messaging, none of the politics stuff, and throw it out there. I didn't rewrite World and Peace or anything like that. And the people on my team, Aaron Brown, an exceptional, amazing writer who's working on the novelizations as we speak.
Ooh, yeah.
So eventually we're going to have full novelizations, and who took the story in such a great way. And my artist, Eric Hodson, who is going to complete the series moving forward, is everybody's just doing good work on there. I'm pleased. I'm very pleased. I couldn't be happier. Anybody want to call it a failure, whatever? Hey man, you're free to say whatever you want, but I know this is my project and I'm beyond happy. So and I couldn't be happier. Sky's the limit. We're gonna get to 60, man. We're gonna get to 60.
That's a no-brainer. That's a no-brainer. So yeah, Rippercent.com. Obviously, it's in the description right now. You can go grab that. And to Jay's point, get it. Well, again, I brought this up early in the stream. You got youngsters that, whether it be your children, your nieces, nephews, this is a great option for them, especially Christmas coming up as well. Nudge. Yeah. This is a great option for them. So go grab that for them. And man, it's going to be a very, very, very exciting time with this entire collection. Shout out to Bruce. We got Professor X with a 50. So I bought Achromatic Chronicles Blue at SpaceCon. Shout out. Just couldn't stick around to meet you in person, Jay. But I really enjoyed your book. I'll be giving Blue to my niece. Let's go for X.
Thank you, man.
Says, and jumping into the campaign for Green. Congrats and well done. Yeah, I got to meet homie. Cool dude. Was rocking that tank. Yeah.
Anyone with a hat like that in their avatar, he's on the level, man.
Yeah.
You know what's up. That's a hat only a real man can pull off and wear. You're not catching like any sissies wearing a hat like that. I'm just saying. So good on you, Professor X.
Shout out, man. Much love for that 50, because that ain't cheap either, man. Shout out to you for that. Speaking of, because we know you join our man's. Well, he's a homosexual, but Jeremy, excuse me. I know you join him. We talk politics every now and then as well. What you think is going to happen after tomorrow, bro?
I think either either Trump is going to win and we will know by midnight Eastern that quick.
Okay.
If not, we won't know. I don't think we'll know who the president will be until like Thursday or Friday of that coming week. And I really hope it doesn't come to that. I really hope we don't put the nation through that. People are already nervous and scared enough as it is. Like you see, like they're bordering up like businesses in
Portland,
and like blue states like Portland and all those
yeah.
things. They're boarding all up they're expecting the worst that could happen. You know, so if this thing gets dragged out, there could be some chaos. You know, I hope not. I hope not. I think it's either going to be like he's going to win big time, and they'll just be like, yeah, there's no way she could catch up, so it's over. Or it's like, hey, we got some tomfoolery going on here. We got some funny stuff happening here. We don't know what's going on here. We found ballots and we're going to get lawyers involved and the courts are going to get involved and it's going to be stressful and they're going to want to recount and then they're going to throw the election. If it goes that way, it's going to be ugly for a while. I mean, ugly.
I agree.
So,
yeah, I mean, I can see it going like I lean towards like if I absolutely gun to my head had to make a prediction, and I'm going to lean towards obviously Trump winning. Because I mean, I'm looking at some of these, even with the polls and how they were in comparison to previous years. It's like, if they are going to be in favor like they are, you have those toss ups. But the fact that there's so many that are in favor of him, it's like, okay, too big to rig is what people are saying. Is it going to be like an absolute Reagan-esque landslide? We'll see. I could see it. Let's say this: if it went that way, I wouldn't be surprised. If it was just, okay, just so many people turned out, especially if he somehow ends up pulling out, because I know it's 50-50 right now, but it is very possible that he can pull out the popular vote. And if he does that, then the electoral, it's going to be a landslide.
Yeah.
Right? Like, it's going to be an absolute fucking landslide. And it's funny. I think we were talking about this on Main Event. I can't remember if you were there, but I brought up that I can see, you know, we talk about what's going on with quote unquote woke stuff that's happening in all forms of entertainment. I could see if he wins, how it could get worse. Because like in 2016, all these people went crazy when he won, right? And these people felt as if they had to use as a vehicle, right, for their own personal politics, they had to use the industry that they were working in. Hollywood, obviously, you got that aspect of entertainment. You got these folks in gamings. Everything needed to be a lecture. And now you're starting to see definitely with some of those games, because they take a while to develop what that looks like. I can see a world where they get pissed again like that, even if not worse. And we might be on another, like on the front end of some more just absolute garbage material where they feel as if they have to use their entertainment industry as a way to spite their ideological enemies.
I think if they try that, I think it's they're really, the Hollywood will just be a remembrance in the wind. Man.
Yeah,
you see that new game, Dragon Edge, where they literally, those clips online where they literally are preaching to people on how to properly use pronouns and there's like scenes where poor his streams
Dragon Age is rough, bro.
Crazy entertaining.
I posted some stuff from my perspective. It's
rough. Oof. Yeah, like rough, what?
It's rough.
So, you know, it's like one of those things where how far are they going to push until they literally have no audience left? You know, you like I do a lot of Star Wars work, and the bar graph is heading in the massively wrong direction. You know, every show they pump out gets less viewership and less viewership and less viewership.
We have next. What's the skull? Skeleton.
Now they specifically made that for children. That's like a children's show. It doesn't even look anything like Star Wars. They should have called it Pirates in Space or something. But I mean, it is just, that's going to be interesting to see if people have just completely walked away and like, I'm not even giving it another shot. I could see that early on where it's like, all right, this show is terrible, but I'll give this one a shot. Oh no, that's worse. But then I'll try this one. So everything that Lucasfilm has touched the past 3 years has really, I mean, They put out a Willow show that cost hundreds of millions of dollars, and then it was so bad they just took it off the market. How do you make a show that you could just put on streaming? And they're like, don't even put that up. It's that bad.
Yeah.
Indiana Jones came out, $300+ million loss, and some people are saying it's even higher than that. How do you mess up an Indiana Jones film? All those movies make tons of money, except this last one here, right? So those are two products from Lucasfilm. Lucasfilm was heavily involved in the Star Wars hotel that same year that cost them $1 billion. They had to close it down in less than a year because nobody wanted to go because it was dumb, So it's like they have failure after failure after failure after failure. And if they want to push it even harder, like if Trump wins, it's like, who are they going to make shows for? Themselves?
That's it. That's all they're going to have left.
It's like,
it's each other, bros. That's the only thing they're going to have left, but I can see them being arrogant and cocky enough to double down.
Yeah, absolutely. That's the problem that I have. The biggest problem that I have with all of these people is that they pass the blame.
Yeah.
Right. It's like, not my fault the show's bad. It's this person's fault, that person's fault, this person's fault, that person's fault, and it's just like, let me pass the blame. I pass the blame. It's not our fault for putting out a bad show. It's racism or homophobia or the white man or whatever. And so they can only do that for so long, until.
Yeah. I mean, it sounds like even normies are largely over it. I think there were some normies that were protective of it, that like to think that we were crazy. We were talking out our behinds. We had been covering this and what was going on in pretty much all industries, whether it be comics, you talk about Hollywood, Lucasfilm, games. People have been covering this for a while, and you had the normies that would be like, you guys are crazy, just seeing things, seeking this stuff out. But I think definitely what happened with Dragon Age is so on the nose and obvious that it just can't be denied. It can't be denied at all, right? But yeah, I mean, it's not like they take from that. I mean, look at the responses that you see from people that have either worked on the game or not even just Dragon Age. I mean, anything in general. I mean, you look at even the fallout with Acolyte, right? Making some of the like we covered, and what some of the actors and actors were talking about that. There was no like sense of, okay, man, we got this wrong. It was always, well, I had to endure all this crap from toxic fandoms, right? And that was always what it was about. It was never about, maybe you guys were given a dog water script that focused a little too much on nonsense, or rather you were hiring people, bringing people in that were focusing on that, and it just made for all around bad material. And I think that's what happens more than what you deal with Dragon Age. Because Dragon Age, just on the nose, you can see it in the dialogue. Oftentimes it's, well, they have some self-imposed rules, right, where that is like centered around DIE, where they have to focus on these other positions, right, that they have within their whatever departments that are helping produce said dog shit. And they're not bringing people in that are the best for the job or the best people that are available. They're bringing them in because they check a box, right? And so it's not like you're going to set yourself up for success when the person that's in the position, not just actors and actresses, we're talking about people that are also leaders that are in these positions, aren't there by way of talent, aren't there because they cared so much about Star Wars or they cared anything about that. No, it's there because you checked the box at the time, and that happened to be something that was in. It's just going to make for bad material, or material that shouldn't even be in the Star Wars, as an example, genre, right? That you see something and it's like, this isn't Star Wars. I don't know what this is. It's lesbians in space. It's not Star Wars. Well, it gets that way because the people that are in those positions of power, in addition to the little minions, aren't there because they actually give a shit about what's being produced. It's because of other bull crap.
I don't know if can you share my screen? Let me show you. This is the Star Wars High Republic sales list. So watch how this goes in the wrong direction. The first book that came out, 120,000. I think this is digital copies right here, 40,000. The next one, 60. Next one, 35. The next one, 13,000 books.
A mainstream book
with a Star Wars label. Now we're getting into like,
only doing 13,000 is insane.
Now we're getting into like the middle school level books, 20,000. 30,000, 19,000, 7,000 books sold. The young reader option, 3,000 books, right? Okay. Then like their reference book didn't even crack 7,000. Now we go back to the, the bigger ones, the novels.
This is some crowdfunded book. This is Star Wars, bro. It's a Star Wars.
120,000 to the second book in that series to 20,000. You get what I'm saying? Like it is fall, and now they're on phase 3. This was phase 2. They're on phase 3. I don't know what those numbers are yet. They usually wait and take some time, but this just goes to show you that and this was the series that they used to put in just a lot of their, non-binary Jedis, the trans Jedis, like all that stuff. They put all that stuff in there. So that's what they use. They use that series to push a lot of that stuff in that. And I think people started seeing those things, and it's just like they began to walk away.
Yeah, man. So, a mainstream.
It's crazy because when you compare that to the other Star Wars EU books, even in this article, it talks about, it's like, just to give you a point of reference, the EU books sold in some millions and millions and millions of copies.
Yeah.
So this one here, it says some of the EU books sold 15 million as of 2014, and now these are barely selling 5,000 copies. So
that's crazy. That's I mean, we're in an era where Star Wars can't just print money anymore. And
I know, right? It's crazy.
I would have thought I'd never see that in my lifetime. Where that Star Wars, that you be in a position where Star Wars can just say, "Hey, here, put Star Wars on it," and it's gonna just do.
There was a time, man. You could. I was one of those guys. You slap the Star Wars name on it, I'm like, I'm buying it, man. I don't care what it is. There's a lamp. Okay, give me that lamp. I want that. Give me that pin. Give me that belt buckle. I want it. And now it's like we just kind of point and laugh.
It's insane.
It's crazy.
It's unfortunate, but that's where we are at. And by the way, Raider came through with a 71-37 and no message. There's nothing there, guys. I'm looking at it and making sure something wasn't redacted. Yeah, it's making sure something wasn't redacted, but there's nothing there.
And I had dinner with him last week. So,
shout out.
Yeah.
Shout out, Raider.
He was there in San Antonio too.
Yeah. Big shout out. That ain't cheap, by the way, man. Much love to you. As always, coming through, just dropping a 71-37. No message at the top. Super chat of the day, man. That is insane. What the hell?
He's like, let me see what I got in my pocket. Some change.
Just 7 pounds. Here it is. Here it is. Have it. It's yours, bro. It's yours.
Ooh.
Shout out. Raider, man. That ain't cheap, man. Thank you so much for that. Quinlan with a 3 says AC Green looks, well, I'm pretty sure this is a joke. Woke as fuck.
Okay.
Why should I buy that?
You shouldn't buy it. You shouldn't buy it. It's very woke. That was my point. I wanted to test the woke market with my second book just to see. And it's 100% a failure. Everybody's correct. It's a horrible thing. I don't know. I should never have used a black girl. What's a white guy like me writing about a black girl? How dare I do that?
Jay? You're not supposed to be able to do that.
Terrible. I tried it. I tried the mainstream stuff. It didn't work. So I will hang my head in shame. So don't buy it. You're in Australia too. It's like, we made up those shipping numbers, man. Forget it. It's going to cost you an arm and a leg. Stay away from it. MAGA. Yeah, let's go. MAGA in Australia. That's it. You got it.
Yeah, they gave himself away there.
The other artist, excuse me, the main writer for the series is not white. Just to throw that out there.
Yeah, I mean, if you look at the name, it's dead giveaway. Not a whole lot of white guys with that name.
D'Angelo.
Not a whole lot of.
But thank you for your super chat. Please send more.
Please, yeah, absolutely. We got Splatoon for Trump with a 5 says the biggest scam in the world is free coof test. If you still buy into this nonsense, even 5 years later, you're as smart as the average Kamala voter. Well, I'm in Texas. He's in Florida. But thankfully, neither one of those went too crazy during that time. I always have to kind of remind myself that there were places that it was like living in a different country over there and how they reacted to it. And worse, there are some folks still keeping up with that charade. And that's sad to see. Yeah.
Oh man, I'm assuming you never had a coof test, did you?
No.
Because I volunteer at on Sundays after church. I did a lot of volunteer work at a nursing home that was
I
connected to
don't
the
think
church.
so.
We would like play music and stuff, just
Yeah.
part of like giving back. And when they opened it back up, you had to get a test. Oh my gosh, I was like, man, I don't want to do that, but I'm like serving. It's like, all right, let's get it done.
Yeah.
It was awful, man. They took this big thing and shoved
put
it
it in your
up. Oh
nose.
man,
Yeah.
I'm like,
Yeah.
what are they? I don't have much of a brain back there, and y'all
It's like
scraping that
y'all
thing. Like
all up
what?
in your fucking sinuses and shit. Sticking shit up
Crazy.
and no, it just sucks, man. Soon a guy with a toot said upvote to have Jay on more often. Yeah, I'm always there. Definitely.
Man, I bring in all these weird haters, man. Why
Nah.
you me for making a book? What I do?
You know how it goes, bro. But nah, of course, I'm definitely we're on the campaign trail, man. So
Yeah.
to his point, he was bringing this up. We had been traveling. I know he had traveled even after he had left with SpaceCon. He was still on the road. So we're just now getting back. So most definitely, this is going to be a lot of opportunities to have him on, and we're going to be chatting about green and talking about also future stuff. There's other stuff we're going to be working with Jay on, man, and I'm really, really excited for. And there'll be plenty of Jay.
Joe in the chat says, if you don't buy green, you ain't black. That's it.
Good. That's good.
It.
That's how it works.
Man, it was amazing that the San Antonio was a lot of love up there, man.
Yeah.
It was awesome all around. Seeing everybody again. I wish I could hang out more often. Was kind of in work mode, but then I don't know if you're a big fan of this movie, but the Goonies, right? I mean, I have
from the house.
Yeah. The owners of the Goonies house are a fan of mine, and one of their friends of a cousin, everything. Anyway, long story short, they got in touch with me and they were like, hey, you want to come and tour the house? And I was like, what? You're gonna let me inside? That no one's allowed to go inside that thing. They're like, yeah, come on up. Like, and I said, well, I'm in San Antonio. And they're like, man, fly up afterwards. We'll meet you out there. And I was like, what, you don't live in it? They were like, not really. We kind of buy houses that, are like from movies and stuff like that. I'm like, you collect houses? What
but that's
do
the type
you
of
do
money
for a living?
Everybody thinks I got all the money. That's someone with money. When you use houses as like that's your collectible, yeah, bro, that's a different type of money.
I mean, it was like, yeah, because that house sold for 1.4 million,
Yeah.
And I'm sitting here like, wait, how many houses do you own? They're like, I was like, maybe I want to visit the other ones. And they're like, oh, well, we own this one. Like, some actor lived in this house. We bought it for a while, and this house was in this movie. And I'm like, good Lord. I was like, when I meet you, can you offer me a job? I don't care what it is, but the fact that you're buying $1 million homes and just owning them, like I see action figures, man.
Yeah, exactly.
Grown man looking at like little GI Joes, like I gotta have that, but look how expensive that is. It's $1,000. I can't get that. This guy's like, oh, it's $2 million. Yeah, all right, let's pick that one up, no problem.
Collecting.
So man, it's crazy.
I need that.
So we went. It was a beautiful. I went to Astoria, right outside of Portland. Never been that far west, and then got to tour the house. So it was pretty cool. I'll have a video up soon enough. But I wanted to. That was very special to me to see that. Man, they took me into the museum. That guy that owns the house like knows the mayor and everyone in the town. It was like they had everybody out there, and I'm like, who am I, man? Like, it was pretty awesome. And the whole time I'm checking my phone, like, man, the book's out. I'm not home yet. Like, it was a cool thing. So
that's what's up.
Yeah.
That's what's up. Yeah.
Yeah, God is good, man. He's blessed me. He's blessed me. So I'm just enjoying the ride for what it's worth. So
Larry, 42 months says no hate, Jay. Love to everyone.
Hey, man, right back at you. Listen, I don't hate anybody either, man. Like the thing is, I've learned you put something out there on the internet, people love it, people hate it, people make things up about it. So it is what it is, man. It is what it is. And I know for me, I can't speak for anybody else. Like my life's been pretty good when I had my walk with God renewed, a few years ago, and I haven't looked back. And anything that I put out there, whether in other people's mind it's a failure or a success. I know for me, I have peace in my heart, and I am enjoying everyday life because every day is a gift, and you never know. Everybody is just, the sad thing is, everybody is just one notification away from their life changing, either for the positive or negative, you know?
Yeah.
And so once I started realizing that, you know, it's like, you have to enjoy it, you know? You have to be thankful in the good times, the bad times, you have to, because you never know. One notification and your whole world changes, you know? So go out there and create. Don't worry about what people are going to say. Just do your best, man, shot, and like throw it out there. And don't gauge things by comparing yourself to other people. It's hurtful, man, and it'll eat you up inside. It really will. You know, and it's like, I know people are comparing. They're like, "You're not doing enough numbers, Jay." Like Bloodruth, I was like, "It's a totally different thing." Like I wasn't even, bro. I'm not even in competition with anything. So it's all good. Like I am beyond happy, and it is, you know, every day is a blessing, man. Enjoy it. Laugh with your friends. Eat some good food. As you can tell, I never miss a meal. You know, and that's all I can say. It's just like life is so precious, and so it's so important. Like, don't be scared to create or take a chance. You know, don't be afraid. You got to step out on that boat and try to walk on water. If you start to slip, I know a big man that'll pull you up. So,
amen on that. And shout out Very Dark in the chat there. But no, to echo that sentiment, I'm glad you brought that up. Its success looks different for everybody. Like I think that unfortunately, you know, that comparison thing does get context is often missing with so much. And to your point, you know, you see other creators do it, and they'll eat themselves up, right? You have to understand what you can accomplish and can't accomplish, and do what's relatively like within your reach, and that's what you need to be basing your success off of. And you know, it's funny, right before you got here, I was talking about being encouraging to folks giving it a shot, particularly like young creators, young artists, because you put some out there on the internet, people are going to feel some type of way about it. There's no way to avoid it. Some of it's noise, a lot of it's going to be noise. Hell, most of it might be noise. But if like a select demographic finds it to be appealing to them and makes it work, that's what matters. But yeah, you got to give it a shot. At the end of the day, you got to create a bone in your body. I'm always telling folks, like, give it a shot. Damn, whatever everybody else says. This whole I despise elitism. People that know me, I wrote a damn song. If you remember, that was one of the first backwards song. It's titled elitism. I hate it. I despise it. It's not anything that I've ever been fond of. I don't like the fact that there are people that are out there that are so discouraging to other, especially younger creators that are out there, because they think that they inherit like all of the wealth of knowledge in the world, and they don't like to see other people be great. I'm not like that. I know you're not like that. Love to see other people doing awesome things. And again, what's awesome to you may look different for another creator, and that's okay, right? Especially as things get decentralized, that's what it's going to look like even more.
I say this all the time because I heard it from someone else, and it was so powerful for me. And this is just about life in general. It's like all through life, people will always say something. You know, if you have a dream, you're like, "Hey, I'd like to paint a picture," and someone will be like, "You can't do that. You're too old to do that. You're too young to do that. You ain't got the talent. No one's going to like it. No one's going to do it." And then these people that are like shooting lies off into the wind because they don't see anything in you, but you feel like you have something, that you take that lie and it becomes truth in your mind, and then you start to believe it. Yeah, maybe they're right. Maybe I ain't good enough. Maybe I'm not good enough. Don't believe those lies. Get out there, put it out there, do what you got to do. Don't compare yourself to others, whether one person does better than you or another on it, whether it's starting a YouTube channel, anything in life.
Yeah.
Just go out there and have joy in doing it, and you will always win. That's just how it is. That's how it is, man. I'm just saying that's how I live. You know, it's like, what can you do? You will never please everybody. You just won't.
Yeah, it's not a possible. It's not even a thing that you could do, right? Even people that are more favorable or looked at more favorably to the even general public, they still have people that despise them. Unfortunately, there are people out there like that are just so bitter, right? That they don't like to see other people doing great things, and they are unhappy, right? They are miserable, and they will try to what the old saying is, misery loves company, and they will try to make you as miserable as they are.
It's because they're upset that they didn't do what you're trying to do.
That's how it always has. That's why people will rather you not give it a shot. That's facts. That's facts. That's why they don't want you to give it a shot, because they don't want to see you be going out there and giving it a shot and being great potentially, right? They rather be discouraging to you. So you got to go out there and just give it a shot.
Well, that's the whole thing about this rebellion that I constantly wear as a sleeve. It's really not a political thing. It's more like rebelling against your fears to live the life that you want to live, you know?
Yeah,
it's like everybody has fears when you put something out there, or you want to take a chance, you want to like maybe take that move or whatever it is. There's always these fears that come up that are like, you know, don't do that, don't do this, don't do that. But it's like sometimes you've got to rebel against whatever fear you're dealing with to take a step out of the boat, you know, and maybe take a couple steps on water. And that's like when I do my podcast and interview people, it's like that's the main theme. It's like, so you're this, how did you get there? What were some of the fears, you know, that you rebelled against to get there? Because I know it wasn't like a cakewalk, you know, for whatever people are doing that they enjoy, whether it's art, actors, anything, even YouTubers, you know.
Well, yeah,
like it's all out there.
Give it a shot, guys. If nothing else, you should give it a shot. We have Garfield's Bizarre Adventure with a 2 says shout out to the Keno Casino, also to Jay. Shout out to,
what's up, Garfield?
Ashton and Andy, and of course, big shout out to Jay, who was here joining us as we just, you know, again, I hadn't needed, so I hadn't been
I don't want to
streaming.
keep you any longer than you have.
No, I hadn't been streaming. I was like, you know what, I'm gonna do a stream today. It was perfect that you jumped in as well, so we could talk about Green and some of the other stuff that we're both kind of up to, because we got Bloodruth. I love that both of them are active at the same time, so I'm like promoting them simultaneously. It's fun. Because it's funny when before you got here, I was talking about how, man, this is just how my days are looking these days. It's like most of my like online presence is like something about something that like I'm either working with or like I'm working on. Like that's just kind of how it is, and I'm okay with that. Like I'm fine with kind of laying back in the cut and just not actually laying back doing anything, but I'm not doing as much like general content creation anymore, and I'm just like, here's Rippaverse stuff, here's Rippaverse stuff, it is what we're working on. It's Green, here's Bloodruth, here's whatever statue. This is fun. This is we're having an awesome time here. So I guess before we bounce, we know we got Green on horizon. We know that there will be more in the series, and you confirm like Eric's doing. He's up for doing the others as well, like the red or everything that may come.
Red? What do you mean?
Yeah, or purple or Achromatic Chronicles tangerine.
Purple.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, he has been an amazing friend in all this, and we're just like good friends at this point, you know. And we talk on the phone, everything for he was a godsend to me too, you know. I was looking for a new artist because the artist that I had, Lily, who's in Hawaii, she got a great job that she wanted, and we were talking about doing the next book, and she said, man, it's going to take me a little while because I'm really loving what I'm doing over here. And, you know, I was like, she's like, you know, I won't be upset if you go find somebody else. And before I even threw the net out, Eric had drew the cover of and he's just like, hey, I made this for you. And I was like, what? This is incredible, man. And so we just started talking, and it was like, here we are. You know, here we are. I've known him from some of his other work, Merkmaid, you know, and so it just worked.
And he has an awesome story too. Like
like I'm gonna have him on a live stream, and I'm gonna let him tell it himself. So it'll be it's gonna be pretty awesome. But since you're letting me share stuff, man,
What we got?
you know, I gotta let me share a couple things since I'm gonna use your audience.
No, this is what
These are his covers, by the way, and a lot of people don't realize like these are connector covers. And so if you buy those two covers together, they make a picture, right? But when the other books come out, the other covers are going to connect as well. So it's going to be like one giant poster. So when it's all done. So I thought that was, I didn't know he was actually doing that. He just said, "Hey, do you mind if I do a special cover?" I was like, "Of course, I don't mind." And then when it came out, I was like, "Oh man, that's so cool." So those are the connector covers. And then, coming next year is The Daughter's Revenge. This one ain't for kids.
No.
That's the logo right there.
Let's
it's a
go.
pirate adventure, man. We're gonna do a pirate adventure.
Let's go.
So
let's go.
Eric is the artist is working on this as we speak. So
let's go.
It's gonna be awesome. It's gonna be awesome. This one ain't for kids. But if you want, so here's the thing, if you don't mind me pitching.
No.
If you go to daughtersrevenge.com, and because right now it's all about green, right? So make sure you grab green first. But if you go to daughtersrevenge.com, we're just looking for simple signups. Not going to get any spam, but you will be first to know when we launch certain things, because so many people out there, I don't know if I think I told you, but we have a blacksmith making swords, like real battle ready replica pirate swords. And I don't know, like some areas, like in some places in the country, I know you probably can't own them. So we're going to go through all that disclaimer, but we're only going to have a handful. And I have gotten tons of emails saying, "Let me be the first one to buy." I was like, all right, well, sign up here. When that day comes next year, that email is going to go out, and, good luck. We're also making like pirate coins. We have shirts, hats, and 9 Line Apparel is going to do an exclusive hat and shirt. That's going to be the first thing to drop. And they've never really done that for their company before, to do something along the lines like this. So it's going to be awesome. And once those shirts and hats are sold out, it's going to be done. And a lot of the proceeds of that is going to go to the 9 Line Foundation, which everybody knows I support, that helps veterans here in America. So it's going to be pretty awesome. That's going to be the next one that's coming out next year. So, but first, pick up blue and green. I promise you're going to love it. You're going to love it. You're going to love it.
Blue, green.
I'm excited, man. I'm happy, man. Like, life is good. Like, whatever. It's going to be awesome.
Well, you can get both of those, blue and green. Yes. Yeah. If you have not got blue, you can get the Rippaverse print of blue over at Rippaverse.com. You can bundle it. Go ahead, grab everything. We have signature series copies. What else we got? We got
shirts. We got stress balls. We got a graded comment. I mean, we got it all over there.
Yeah, just get everything. Just go ahead and grab everything. Why not? Over at Rippaverse.com. You'll be seeing a lot of us chatting about it. We'll be doing some streams. I'll be doing a lot of streams about it, talking about it, plugging it, going on everybody's else's stream, talking about this as well, because obviously this is a project that we want to make sure we make it as successful as possible. We appreciate y'all already
coloring book.
Oh yeah, the coloring book.
Yeah.
We also got a coloring book there as well that you can grab. So again, if you have youngsters, yourself, you got nieces, nephews, it's a great option for them. Go to Rippaverse.com.
And look, Risky for the Biscuit, who's in the chat, is one of several people that took that pirate logo that I showed you and tattooed it on his body, man.
Shout out.
So the book better not suck. He was like, that book better not suck. I used that as a tattoo. It was like, okay.
I love it. Absolutely love it. I absolutely love it. Well, guys, we're gonna wrap it up here in a bit. Are you gaming tonight?
I don't know.
Don't know.
I probably will, because it's like, election day's coming tomorrow.
Yeah, tomorrow's gonna be nuts, bro.
Yeah. So I'll probably do a little Fortnite here and there.
Yeah,
so.
There you go. Or COD or something like that.
Yeah.
So generally, just is it all gaming that you do on the basement, Drunk Doritos basement?
Yeah, pretty much for now. Yeah. Like that's the gaming channel.
Cool. So follow that if you have not, and go check that out. Me, I probably will not be streaming gaming tonight. I'm probably going to get back to editing as I always do. Jay, I appreciate you jumping in.
No, thanks for sending the link.
Yeah, for sure. We'll do it again. I'm going to end on I guess I'll play the music video again, backwards in case people missed it. I'll play the music video to end this thing. And I appreciate y'all hanging out with me and Jay tonight as we talk green. We talked a little Bloodruth. We talked some of what's going on in the industry. Talked a little bit of election stuff. Just a little bit of everything. Jay, again, man, I appreciate you, man. And I'll shoot you a text, man. I'll holler at you. All right, bros. Man. Everybody, I will see you. I don't know when I might end up streaming. I think Blaze might drag me into something tomorrow. This is election, so I might be live with Glenn and them. I don't know. We'll see. But if you don't see me, I'll just be working. I'll see you guys later this week. All right, guys. Peace out. Enjoy the rest of your night. Like I said, I'm in with the music video selection, which is live on all major digital platforms. You can grab that as well as watch the music video in its entirety. Again, high res over on Backwards YouTube. All right, guys. Peace out. And yeah, enjoy the track.
Here we are again. How are my lyrics still relevant? The pain and suffering, you are as dumb as you've ever been. Almost to the day you think that I was some clairvoyant. Truly it is an annoyance. Say it till I'm blue in the face, but you treat my words like they're poison. It's your own life you're destroying. Talking to thick walls and skulls, marching to your own Another year of this, same old song, same old rhymes. You ask for it, back for it. You have learned absolutely nothing. You made your bed, now lie in it. A bunch of clowns, letting it shine. Second conference and lies in the sky. It's just for momentary life. Truth like you take it out on me. Well, that'll change little to nothing. Hey, what I say, but you can't say I'm bluffing. It's like you want a perpetual suffering. Things maybe change, but the end seems the rapping is looking very familiar, don't it? Time to really love that. Talking to thick walls and skulls. Walls and skulls. Marching to your own love. Another year of this, same old song, same old rhymes. You ask for it, back for it. You have learned absolutely nothing. You made your bed, now lie in it. Unpredictable, gullible mess. Unpredictable, gullible mess. Unpredictable, gullible mess. Unpredictable, gullible mess. A gullible mess. A gullible mess. Emotions, you cannot contain. Relations below your strength. Industries, your protesting is nothing but I love. Because at the end you just follow. Silly, tripping, who are you kidding? All of that talking and act like you different. Do what you sound like a sucker and you listen. As long as that crackhead is your politician, you are not the resistance. They lost generic positions. Stuck inside. You made your bed, now lie in it. Another year of this, same old song, same old rhymes. You ask for it, back for it. You have learned absolutely nothing. You made your bed, now lie in it. Wanna see this
and work. Right after the brother walk for you. Got nothing of the whole entire scene. Got some BLM merch. Everything about you is manufactured. And if it feels like I'm